So Traces of Things That Almost Died is about memories and time that almost disappeared, but continue to keep returning in a live form. And through the materiality of the tape loop, I try to make this kind of imperfect traces alive again. The sounds repeating within the loop exist in between because they neither fully past nor present, neither alive nor dead. And the tape loop becomes a conduit for such ghostly time, leaving behind traces of what is past. Tape loop is a technique that made by cutting a cassette tape in a specific length and joining its ends to form a continuous loop. And this makes the same span of time to repeat over and over. The duration of that loop is directly proportional to the length of the tape, so it means that the time becomes something that can be seen. And tape not only records and stores sound, but it's also highly visual and physical. Because the tape is formed into a loop, sound is recorded over the same surface repeatedly. And when it's recorded multiple times, the tape's material body becomes worn and distorted, and the sound is directly affected by that material transformation. I've always had the desire to preserve precious memories forever in a perfect form. Of course, it's not possible through any kind of technology, so maybe that's why I wanted to give a shape to this desire through this project. So sound exists in every space, even if it cannot be heard by the human ear. A tape recorder can capture them. For example, distant voices, footsteps, or white noise. Spaces are always filled with invisible and this kind of immaterial sounds, and my system tries to capture all these inaudible sounds. First, the condenser microphone placed at the center of the installation picks up sounds from the surrounding space, which are then recorded and played through the first loop. And that sound is then fed into the second loop, where it becomes further distorted, as it's a recording of a recording. And through this repeated process, the sound that comes from the final loop becomes so transformed that it's almost impossible to recognize the original. I believe human memory works in a similar way because as time passes and memories layer and accumulate, the original form becomes blurred, and eventually subjective imagination fills in for objective fact. And I hope people stay with this work for a while, observing the movement of the tape and listening to what has been recorded. So this project is also a record of the space in which it exists. It means that when the space changes, so does the sound that is recorded onto the tape. For that reason, I hope to install this work in various places and gradually expand the archive of remembered spaces.